Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the build. We are now on part 7 of our 1350 Enterprise refit. So without further ado, let's get to work. I finally got all of my wires soldered and together. Got my warp, got my beauty lights, and then there's these two for the blinky flashy. I got my light diffusing panels in place. You could probably use styrene for this. I just chose to use cardstock. But yeah, you could use styrene, I bet. I also got this done, repainted it. You can see where my masking tape was. That's fine. Well, that'll be covered. But yeah, I got that repainted. It's in place. It's fine. I light tested it. So now, the moment of truth. Now we have to glue these puppies together. Because, yeah, that's it. That's it. Last step, glue them together. Make sure our wires are not going through the middle, but going through here. And tie in these two beauty lights on this side with these, which these will tie in over here. So I'm going to get to work on that. I'm going to get these glued together, and we'll be back in a second when they are finally assembled, and we'll light these puppies up and see what they look like all together and all lit up. See if there's any light black issues we have to deal with before we start painting them. So I'll be back with that in a flash. Alright guys, we have everything wired together, so let's turn these lights off actually. And light her up. There we go. Let's try to keep these wires from touching each other. Alright, there's our grills and our crystal. You can see that crystal over here. You can see that big old gap. I just discovered that. Oh my gosh. That's going to be filled. Anyways, there are beauty lights. Yeah, they're blowing the camera out. You can see that's one of the reasons I'm painting this black. It's for more light blocking, especially on those guys. We have... Oh boy. Don't cross the streams. Blow out every light in here. Oh, more gappage. You can see our beauty light along there. How are we going to do this one? The balancing act. Thing's so stupidly big. Oh. There's our blinky flashy. And you can kind of see our RTS thrusters under the masking tape. So, yeah, that is one lit. Nope, I came undone. There we go. That's one lit nacelle. There we go. Come on. Oh, you're playing nasty. Playing nasty. Stop playing nasty. I don't want to shoot this again. Because I want to get this undone. I want to get to work. There. Don't breathe. Nobody breathe. Somebody breathed. There. Screw it. You saw it. Okay. I'm going to get to work sanding because that's going to be the bulk of today's task, I guess, for lack of a better term. Before I get into my sanding day, I thought I'd show this off yesterday. I put some decals on here. I took this delta symbol from my 82 1537 and then U.S. Enterprise from the modern kit from the shuttles. I cut this out of the shuttle. The little chevron that goes in the shuttle, it says USS Enterprise on it. And so I took the USS Enterprise out of there. I'm not sure how I feel about that one. I do like that one. It's not the traditional colors. It's kind of orange and on orange, but it fits with the tan and with the red seatage. These are the two kit supplied decals, right here and here. They are reversed. This one should go here, this one should go here. They're reversed because, trying to illustrate this, that is a burn. And there's another one next to it. That's a burn. I don't know how it got my decal sheet, but there's a burn right there, and I didn't want you to be able to see that. It's unfortunate this is damaged, and you may still be able to see. Nah, you won't. You won't be able to see it, but it's there. Now I got that one on that side. They do light up. So you'll see, you can see that. You'll be able to see those lit up in there when everything is said and done. they will look like little screens. So yeah, I got that thing pretty much done. And I can put this off to the side with all my other stuff. Now, we're going to stop procrastinating and get to sanding. Alright guys, we are halfway through our day of sanding. I am done with the problem child here, the starboard nacelle. I haven't started on the port nacelle here. But I got this pretty good. There's some gappage here we're going to have to fill. This took so long because, let's see if I can illustrate this. So the step was so bad in here that not only did I have to sand this down, but when you looked at it down the barrel, you had a little bit of a hump all the way back to here. So I had to actually sand and re-sculpt this right here and make this this even. Otherwise it looked like there was a bump over here that kind of went down. It gave sort of an angle like this. So I had to go all the way up to here, sand all of this and sculpt all of this. The same thing back here. So there's our little dot. We lost the second bevel of this. That's okay because these are actually supposed to be flat. So I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. So I sanded this thing down, and I want these flush anyways. They're just going to be little blinks of light anyhow. Underneath went a little bit better. Wasn't as bad. The front especially, that wasn't bad at all. So I'm done with that. This was a little bit tricky in here. This was a little bit tricky in here. I did lose some of my details, as you can see. I kept this big long one. I think we still have that. And this one here. But I lost this one up here and these two. And I might lose it on here. But that's okay. I just went and I cut out some pieces of styrene to shape. And we will glue them on their respective spots after I'm done with all this sanding and such, because I'm gonna have to be doing work in here. I can see there's a divot here. I'm gonna have to putty, so I don't want them to lose them again or sand them off again or whatever. So that is our starboard side sanded. First round of sanding, no putty yet. Still have to mask some stuff up, obviously. So I'm gonna be getting to work on our port side, and this shouldn't be as bad. This shouldn't take as long because it's more pitting than steppage, except right here. And that might be no, there's a little step there. There's a little tiny step in here. So yeah, I'm gonna get to work on this, and I'll be back when that's complete. Alright guys, I got all the sanding on this other nacelle done. That didn't take half as long as this guy here. I was able to keep most of my details. That one got a little squishy, but I could always put a little bit of styrene over the top of that if I desire. But yeah, I kept most of those. Went pretty darn smoothly. Did have to re-etch this line in here. I'll probably have to do the same to this one up here. But not bad. Not bad at all. I think that's it for our preliminary round. I'm going to wash these off with a damp cloth, get all the schmutz and all the soot or whatever. Got to blow these out, got to mask these off officially. And then I'm going to mask everything else off and start to get some primer. Oh, the one thing I didn't mention I had to do is these guys weren't too aligned. So there's not a big gap, but there's a little gap here. There was a much bigger gap on the back side of that, as you can see there. So I had to sand those a little bit with my microfiles. I'll putty those up. You won't know. In fact, if I didn't say anything, you wouldn't know. So I got a little bit of time left today for modeling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to get some prep work done on our secondary hull. I'm going to get those pieces out. I'm going to get at least sanded. I want to get those sanded today. And maybe we'll take a look at those real quick before I shut down for tonight. So I'll be back with those secondary hull parts. Alright guys, I got all of our secondary hull parts out. I got them sanded a little bit. A little schmutz on there. That's no problem. So we got the bottom of the hull. We have the port side of the hull. We have the starboard side of the hull. We have the strong back right here. And we have the deflector housing and the deflector array itself. Those just pop together like that. So, a few things to talk about. Let's just set these over here and here. Okay, so this is the deflector array housing. And you can see this. That is our mounting point. We are going to be epoxying the ever-living snot out of this sucker right here, because this is our fulcrum. This is where it's going to be attached to the base. I want this epoxied on here because this is 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. I don't want this thing to break apart. I don't want to be sitting there one day and all of a sudden this thing just snaps off and then I cry for a week. So we're going to epoxy this. We're going to epoxy the sides and the top. I've got my, I think this is 5-minute epoxy, my Gorilla epoxy. Yep, 5-minute epoxy. That should be more than enough time. It says 5 minutes, but it really doesn't mean. It means more like 15 minutes. So we'll be not only just epoxying the edge of this, we're going to bring some epoxy over in the back side here. We're going to put some epoxy on the back side. We're going to actually build us up a little epoxy that goes into here. That won't affect anything. We don't really need to put anything in front of it. We're going to have to put some lights in here, but that shouldn't affect that. I mean, all of our lights, there's going to be our big mamma jamma in the middle, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 for our thrusters, and that is really it for the deflector. So we're gonna have some wires coming out of here, but there's not gonna be anything big right there. So we should be able to build up our mount epoxy in here, right here, into here, and probably here into here. I think this is the biggest point. I want to build up a bunch of epoxy and bring it over and as far into here as I can, without getting so tall that it goes above these mounting points. And these mounting points are for our little arboretum here. That's the plan, Stan. So yeah. And then of course just getting schmutz all over this, doesn't matter. Gonna paint over it, gonna wash it off. Haven't washed these off. So we've got our sides here, which fit in horribly. Let's see if I can get this in here. Yeah, you can see that fits in like crap. And hard to tell, but you can actually see through this line right here. I don't know. I don't have it together, so I don't know how hardcore that line's going to be. There should be. There we go. Now you can see through there. And you can see right on through there. See, I don't know how hardcore that's going to be. And then our strong back here, of course, that fits in horribly too. We'll just put this like this. Now, when this is flush against the back and the front, which it is pretty flush against the back and the front, there is a little gap. You can see it right there. In the, and there's a big gap right up front there. So we have to take care of those. We also have to, of course, paint that blue. So yeah, I did sand down some of the detail on here. See these little guys? I sanded those down a little bit because we got a pretty big decal going over this area, and the less it's already got to go over some curves, around some curves. It will have to conform to these little hood scoops that are on the rear here. So I want basically as little detail on the surface. I still want you to see them, but I made them a little bit less sticky outness, if that's a word. I did the same thing on the secondary hull here, where you got some on the bottom here. We got our 4 phaser arrays. We have our blinky flashy. We have a part that goes under there. I don't have that out because I'll lose it. We are going to put a light in there, shining forward, because at least on some concept art, there was a light that was shining forward. I think a Probert drawing, you saw, I saw a light right here, and it was lighting this area of the secondary hull, the fan tail. And I thought that was cool. So we're going to put that in there. Going to put our blinky flashy. Windows. We need all the windows lit up. So I need to get this thing temped together here to see exactly how much room we have to play with on the inside. It should be a fair amount. I mean, this is just one side. And some room to play. Yeah, that's going to be pretty big. And then we got this, and of course it's even longer. And of course we'll have to be running all of our wires down to here, which is why this is going to be the last thing we tie into our ship. And the last thing assembled. So I have to make sure that I have this thing light blocked from the back, because this will be the last piece to go on our ship. I'll have all the wires right here to get ready to go down to our base. So you have to drill that out. You have to drill a little hole there, a rather big hole. We're gonna have at least let's see here, 4 sets of wires. One for the mains, one for the blinky flashies, another one for blinky flashies because we got strobes. We have at least a couple strobes. I have to look. I know one on the bridge. I think these guys, I don't know if these guys are strobes. This guy down here. Oh, there's another light. Where is it? On the back here. There's another light right there. So I'm not sure if these tie into the nav lights or if these are strobes. I want to say the bottom's a strobe. We'll figure that out. So I have 2 strobes. So we've got flashy, blinky, strobe, mains, and then we've got our impulse and our warp. That's 5. 5 sets of wires to go down into our tube. That is a lot. We're going to have to be very careful. I might actually... I've got pretty thick wire. I got that pretty thick wire. Let's grab some of that. I have this thick... I got this this guy right here. It's got tons of wire in it. And these are pretty thick. I think I'm going to have to buy some more of this much thinner wire when I go to tie everything together. I want to use that instead. It'll just give me more room. Because again, 5 sets of wires. Can you imagine 5 sets of wires? That's may not seem like a lot, but when you start getting those together, I want them to be about that thickness. Otherwise, I don't even think I could fit 5 sets of these guys through that. So we'll have to be getting some more of our Evan design wire. So I'm gonna get some of this together, see what it looks like. We have our, where is it? We have our shuttle bay to get in there. We have our arboretum to get in there. So we're gonna see what these guys look like on the inside of here. I'll be right back with that. Okay, so I screwed the pooch. I screwed up. I messed up. Did wrong. And it's all these lights. So we have the arboretum in place here. It's all fine and dandy. You can see in there pretty well. Looks neat. But then when I go to put my shuttlecraft bay in, if I can get these tabs to fit, tabs right up here, it fits on these 2 tabs. As you can see, well, first off, you can see it's already at a horrible angle. Well, that's because of these lights here. You see, that tab is not sitting flush with the bottom here. This should sit flush basically on the rear or on the ceiling of this. And I'm checking. Okay, good. It doesn't block the light from above. It won't block the light from above getting in. But that is those 2 lights, the wires here, are preventing this from going down, which, why is that a problem? Well, it's a problem when we start getting the walls in place. You see, if I were to just put this one side in here, like this, that top, that thing hits these, and this doesn't fit into place properly. So what we're gonna have to do is we are gonna have to get these lights out of here, which may or may not be a thing. They are super glued in here and then hot glued. It'd be nice if I could take all this hot glue out of here and basically face them forward. I think if I face these forward, same thing down here, face these guys forward. I think I have enough room if I face those bottom ones forward. Let me look. I should have enough room. Or maybe face them at kind of an angle, or just not mount these, or not glue this bottom part, just the top part, so I can wrangle my wires where I need them. I think we'll be okay. Now, again, these are super glued in place, so if these bust, oh, that's gonna be a sad day. I'm hoping to get these out of here with not so much trouble. I didn't put them in here super well. So, yeah, I think I super glued that too, didn't I? Oh, ho, ho, ho. Maybe I did put these in here. Whoa, that's scary. Okay, we're gonna have to do some surgery on this. Try to get these mounted here. Mount these a little bit forward. Not glue this end. Okay. I still have to light block that. A little hole in the back that I drilled. An accidental hole. I drilled the wrong hole when I was drilling to get that work bee in the back there. Drilled it in the wrong place. The real hole's down there. Right down there. Yeah, we're going to light block that. Hopefully, this won't screw everything up. Like, worst case scenario, these things pop out. When they pop out, those two turbo lifts fall over and I have to take this whole thing apart. That would suck. Anyways, I'm going to try to get this secondary hull together. I want to see exactly how much room I have, because I got a lot of stuff to do in the secondary hull as far as lights and other assorted accoutrement. So we're going to try to get this puppy together. I'll be right back. Alright guys, sorry for the shaky cam here, but I wanted to show the nacelles off fully. So we got about 4 coats of flat black on them. This one right here has some satin up here and on here. You can kind of see the different sheen on that compared to this. So I had to repaint this. I screwed this up. I was gonna take the raised lines and make them silver, because that's kind of what I'm seeing in a couple shots in the motion picture, but it looked like crap. So I repainted this just a little bit ago. And on the other one, I got my first coat of satin on there. It looks a bit iffy right now, but we're going to put a few more coats on. And that satin gives kind of the sheen that you see in the motion picture, so I don't know what I was seeing. I don't know. They look like they're painted gray or silver, but at this scale, it just doesn't look very good. And that looks just fine. So, let me get some other parts here on the desk. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I literally just got the paint on this thing. You can see it's still mighty wet. And then on these and on these, I had to mask off our deflector array because it's still wet. Well, light to shine through there. Duh. I did mask off a couple of places on either side of this pylon or pillar because I want the I want my two-part epoxy to adhere to the plastic, not the paint. So I will go back on the opposite side of this and really light block the back side. I'll probably do 4 coats of light blocking on this just to ensure that where I've got this on the inside, it doesn't show through. I'm going to go back over all of this, of course, with a white. Actually, this is the first coat. I think I'm going to do one more coat here. Let me see. Put that up to the light. Can I see through it? I can still kind of see through it. So yeah, we're going to have to do at least one more coat of the black. Probably 2. And then we're going to do the white for bouncitude. I did not get to the shuttle bait. Yeah, I've been laboring under the impression that it's Thursday all day long. I lost a day. I have no clue how I lost a day, but I lost a day. Just whoop, it's gone. Never to return. Thursday just didn't happen for me. And I started seeing like Buck and Lou put their videos up. I'm like, why are their videos up early? And then I looked at the day, and of course, it's Friday the 13th. So that's why the video is up late. I'm sorry, guys. And I thought I had an extra day to do it. So, this where we're at the end of this week. I will be painting over the weekend. Those nacelles will be drying, and I'll get the satin on there. I'm going to get some stuff masked off on those nacelles. They're right there. Let's show them off. There's one. There's one. So I'll get some satin on there, and I'll start masking off the grills. And then we're going to start getting our puttying done. I didn't get to puttying. I thought I had an extra day. So I was like, I'll putty tomorrow. So, anyways, guys, I want to thank everyone for watching. I want to thank all my new subs. I want to thank all my old subs. You guys are equally rad. And until next week, you guys take care.